You're listening to the Throttle to the Floor podcast. Hey y'all, welcome to today's episode of the Throttle to the Floor podcast. I'm your host, Earnest, here today with my co-host, Evan Seeger.
Hello, y'all.
We got lots of other news first, so we're going to jump into that. First, IMSA was at Long Beach along with IndyCar this weekend. Acura, they managed to win at Long Beach for the first time since 2009, despite being the title sponsor.
It's a miracle. It's a miracle.
It really is a miracle in that gorgeous Acura paint scheme with the 76 sponsorship. I saw the edit for it the other day, and I reposted it on TikTok. Apparently, it was good luck, I guess.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. Pretty nice.
Pretty nice paint scheme. Getting into lots of NHRA news. First, NHRA, they have a new limit at 11,000 RPM for Ford and Dodge and Pro Stock starting this weekend at the Charlotte 4-Wide Nationals to try and increase parity. The 11,000 RPM, it's 500 RPM more than what Chevrolet teams get. Trying to stop Greg Anderson and Dallas Glenn from winning everything. We'll see if it works. Also, there's new concrete at Bristol Dragway. I'm excited for this. There's concrete from the starting line all the way out to the 1/8 mile. So when NHRA comes into town into June, that's going to be very interesting.
Yes.
For sure. And there's some changes at Sean Reed Racing this weekend. Edith Zetterstrom will jump in the car for her first start of the year at Charlotte this weekend with new partner Global Skew. Last month, I got the chance to talk to Sean Reed himself about the changes of splitting his top fuel ride with Edith for this year. So if you want to check that episode out, it will be linked in the description of this video.
Free promo.
Free promo, yes. Some Hall of Fame news. First, the class of 2027 for the Motorsports Hall of Fame of America was announced, and familiar names on that list. NASCAR's Dale Earnhardt Jr. on that list. Robert Yates on that list. NHRA-wise, you got Ron Capps and Angela Sampi, so great for them. They will be inducted next March in Daytona Beach, Florida, along with others in that class. And also, NHRA's Tim Wilkerson will be inducted into the Illinois Sports Hall of Fame in Springfield, Illinois this July. So good for him as well. Lots of Hall of Fame.
Yes, Hall of Fame.
Lots of Hall of Fame stuff. Meanwhile, NASCAR's 2027 class for the Hall of Fame, that voting's been open. So get your fan rewards points. I got my fan rewards points. So get your fan rewards points. But
yes.
It was also announced that there's some new Formula One regulations for coming up for the Miami Grand Prix, not this weekend, but the following weekend, to control energy management and make the cars safer, particularly after Oliver Behrman's crash in Japan last month. We will have more on those changes in Friday's episode. We got lots to talk about here. And then in the NASCAR world, Chicagoland Speedway, it's finally back.
Yes.
It's finally back. It'll have Cup cars for the first time since 2019 on it this July. But first, Goodyear tire test this week on Tuesday and Wednesday. Cup cars will run both days, and O'Reilly Series will also run, but just on Tuesday. The Cup Series, they'll have Kyle Larson for Chevy, Denny Hamlin for Toyota, and Ryan Blaney for Ford, while O'Reilly's will have Justin Allgaier for Chevy and Brandon Jones for Toyota. It kind of sucks we can't go to the Chicagoland tire test, but it's going to be interesting to see how much that 7 years has caused wear to that track. And intermediate racing has already been pretty good, and Chicagoland was one of the only good tracks with the 550 package.
Yes.
Imagine the Gen 7 intermediate package. Imagine tire wear. This is a big if, but could Chicagoland manage to be the new version of old Atlanta that we've been missing? I think it's a stretch, but
it could happen, but also you got to think of the 550 package. I don't know how it's going to change with the 750 package, or not 750 package, but the new generation car.
Yeah, the new car, and
I just don't know how it's going to run. Honestly, I have a feeling it's going to be kind of like a Kansas style, with a little more tire fall off.
Chicagoland's always kind of raced like Kansas, but Chicagoland's, of course, a slight bit different. The backstretch isn't even straight. It's got that little itty-bitty curve in it.
Yes.
But I think it is going to race. kind of similar to Kansas, just more tire fall off. Like you said, especially with all the wear on it. I mean,
I don't know.
Us Midwest winters, we have brutal Midwest winters.
So. And considering that track really hasn't been upkept to NASCAR policy until this year, so I really don't know what they're going to do with, say, like the grandstands. I know they've tried to make some improvements since they announced they're bringing it back, but
I mean, they'll make improvements to get it ready, but it's not as ready and as upkeep as it could be, obviously, and that's just natural when you don't have it on the schedule for 7 years, so.
Also, bring back Kentucky. There's a compelling argument from Kentucky.
I mean, as a longtime Truex fan, obviously my heart's telling me just bring back Kentucky, but at the same time, it's like using my head, it's like Kentucky's not coming back. They're already trying to zone it, and it's like, I mean, I guess to be fair, to kind of support your argument, Chicagoland had its own zoning, if you remember back then, and look at it now, Chicagoland's coming back, but I don't see it for Kentucky, but
hey, you never know.
I don't know. Kentucky, prove me wrong, please.
We said the same thing about Chicagoland.
If Kentucky, if we revisit this in 5 years and Kentucky's somehow back on the schedule, please fix your traffic.
Yes.
Please fix your traffic. Please. Also, let's talk about Daniel Dye. Whatever opinions you have about him, I mean, you can say whatever you want, but he had an impressive second-place finish in the ARC race at Kansas last weekend, and now he's been announced to run 4 Cup Series races for Live Fast Motorsports, starting with this weekend at Talladega. He'll also run at Pocono in June, Daytona in August, and then Talladega again in October. These are Daniel Dye's first 4 career Cup starts, so his Cup debut will come this weekend at Talladega.
Money talks.
Money talks, I guess. I mean, but being that Dye will run at Talladega, we now have a 41-car field for the race. That's right. 1 car will go home.
Yes.
Which is the first time since, I believe, Chicago's street race last year? Or it was either 24 or 25. I don't remember.
I think it was 25. 24. I think it was 24.
One of those two. But, you have the 36 starters, but then you got Daniel Dye for Live Fast, Chad Fincham for Garage 66, Casey Mears for Beer Motorsports, Jesse Love in the 3rd car for Richard Childress Racing, and J.J. Ailey, who was announced today to run in the NY Racing car. So great to see there, assuming the weather cooperates. Early reports just suggesting otherwise, with rain all weekend. That's probably why Haley's not going to be able to go on Saturday, because he was telling me it's going to rain all weekend. So, I mean, we could have Arco O'Reilly's and Cup all on to Monday, but
yeah, that would be something.
That would be.
You'd
something.
be racing into the dark at that point if you're doing all 3.
Talladega ain't got lights. Talladega needs lights. Please give Talladega lights.
For the amount of times the track's been pushed to Monday, they need to have all the lights on that track. They really think about it.
Yes.
Like Daytona has it. Why can't Talladega?
please give Talladega lights. But I mean, we'll have more on those weather reports on Friday from partial meteorologist Evan over here.
Maybe. We'll see.
We'll see. But back on track, IndyCar first, Felix Rosenqvist. He led much of this race from the pole. Then Alex Palou took control late due to some fast pit work, some bad pit road work by Will Power. He was penalized late on the last set of pit stops by hitting one of Kyle Collette's crew members. Thank God he's okay.
Attempted murder over here on Will Power.
Okay, I don't want to say that far, but I mean, to be fair, pit road in motorsports, it's dangerous.
Yes.
But then again, at the same time, you're not really supposed to hit other crew members' feet.
You're really not supposed to do that.
Not really supposed to do that.
That's a big no-no.
But yeah, just Alex Palou, man. He goes on to win at Long Beach. His 3rd win of the year, and that's all in the first 5 races of the year. I mean, at first we were thinking, okay, it's not quite the same Alex Palou dominance as last year, but I mean, now that we're 5 races in, it's like, well,
it's getting to the point of him dominating again for a 2nd year in a row. So
I mean, I don't think he's gonna win 8 of the 17 races like he did last year. Of course, this year there's 18 races because you add in DC. But
yeah. Hey, you never know.
I don't see it, but
we said the same thing about Tyler Reddick.
Maybe. Yeah, more on Tyler Reddick later, but since the start of the 2025 season, in those 22 races, Palou has managed to win 11 of them, which is just insane. But it's his first win at Long Beach. So despite having 22 wins in 103 starts, it's its first win at Long Beach, which is almost equally insane in itself, which is kind of sick and cruel to say. But yeah, Rosenquist ends up second from the pole, Scott Dixon in third, Kyle Kirkwood in fourth, and Pato O'Ward in fifth. Palou now takes the championship lead back after a few weeks of not having it, after his wreck at Phoenix, after previously having it for years and years consecutively. He now leads by 17 points over Kirkwood and by 63 over David Malukas, heading into, thank God, the month of May.
Yes.
Which, of course, means Indianapolis. IndyCar first will race on Saturday, May 9th at the Indianapolis Road Course, before, of course, the Indy 500 at the end of May. But before even that, there's an open test for the Indianapolis 500 scheduled for April 28th and April 29th. So, exciting news there. Our standings for IndyCar after Long Beach, I lead Bernardo by 129, Evan by 136, Stacy by 160, Haley by 187, Noah by 206. Shocker. I did not win an IndyCar for once.
I know.
What a shocker. I picked Kyle Kirkwood. He finished fourth. He ran good, but he didn't win. Evan, you almost beat me. You picked Pato O'Ward to finish fifth, so great run for you. You're trying to take second away from Bernardo in the IndyCar standings.
I'm trying to get back on track after my early season woes in all motorsports.
All series.
Yeah,
particularly Cup. You're trying to defend your championship.
Yes, I'm trying to regain my title, but it's coming close.
I mean, you had a great run in Cup, so yeah. More on that as well.
Yes.
Later, Haley with Joseph Newgarden finished 14th, led 5 laps, also got the fastest lap there. Stacy with Willpower. Willpower was running good, and then just more Willpower woes at Andretti.
Yes.
Finishes 19th after that late race penalty. Bernardo with Santino Ferrucci and Noah with Louis Foster finished 18th and 16th respectively. Just very quiet days, but it is what it is. Kansas. There was a lot of things that happened at Kansas. We're gonna start with ARCA. Jack Wood took control until a bad pit stop early. For a second, it looked like his crew members were going to have a fight right there on pit road.
Yes, I was watching the replay of that. I'm like, that's a little crazy, even for ARCA.
Yeah, ARCA breaks, more like ARCA fights.
ARCA fists?
ARCA fist, yeah. ARCA fisticuffs? I don't know. Something. And then Gio Ruggiero took control for Joe Gibbs Racing. So Cletus McFarland, man, blew an engine while running 10th, but he's able to save the car after pretty much drifting that thing in turns 1 and 2. And it's like, you blew an engine, which sucks. But then he starts drifting it in 1 and 2, and it's like, you are not drifting the CT5 Blackwing.
Hey.
You're not.
He's had a lot of practice in drifting, so I'll give him some credit.
I guess that's how he saved the car, so I guess we'll give him that. But Gio Ruggiero ends up going on to win this race. He's 2 for 2 in ARCA races that he's ran this year. By winning over Daniel Dye, who we mentioned at the top of the show, finished second. I want to give a shout out to the female drivers, and I also apologize if I butcher any of these names. As Lainey Bruce finished fifth, Jade Avedesian finished 7th, and Destiny Spurlock finished 10th in a great ARCA debut, and an even greater save, as she got dumped by Gio Ruggiero with 3 to go, but managed to save it. But that set up overtime and the run of the checkers. I mean, Gio Ruggiero, what are you doing? Yeah. You have 3 to go. Just make a pass. Don't punt. I can understand. That wasn't even a dump. That was just a punt. That was just a punt. Right? That was like, that reminds me of like Dale Earnhardt lap 2, 1992 Hooters 500. Yes. Right there. Just get out of my way, I guess. But I mean, you want to talk about actual excitement? Leave it to the O'Reilly series. Lap 2. Okay, so Josh Bilicki. He initially got turned around. We were thinking, oh, he's going to save it. Yeah. Oh. And then he gets spun around. It's just like, oh. And then the CW cameras, they pan around just in time to catch Polson or Carson Wappel upside down and barrel rolling on the backstretch. Due to William Byron in the 88 Junior Motorsports car getting loose, clipping him at the exit of turn 2. Byron, what are we doing? For 1, it's a teammate. For 2, it is lap 2. What are we doing? Yeah, everyone should have saw me and Will's reaction to that late drive. Yeah, we should have. Everybody should definitely have seen our reaction to it. So, all he sees is the cutback. Like, what are we doing? Why are we flipping? I don't know, but I feel bad for Parker Retzloff. Yeah, just Viking Motorsports in general. Yeah, more on them in a second. But I don't know why teammates or alliances were racing so hard early. But I mean, believe it or not, that was not the last example of that in this race. Austin Hill and Jesse Love, they get together in turn 4 due to Love. I mean, Love came down off of turn 4 and was just packing the air. He was packing the air down on Austin Hill, which got him tight, and he clipped the apron and spun him around before Williams Wallace just ends up piling in. Bad timing there. Ends up ending both of their days. Definitely some uncomfortable team meetings.
Yes.
Those were definitely held today, that's for sure. Viking Motorsports saying Anthony Alfredo has a right front tire failure and suspension failure. As you mentioned, Parker Retzlaff, he ran into Carson Guapo on that lap 2 flip. So both of those Viking cars were completely destroyed Saturday night. In Kansas, kind of like all the hail destroying all of our vehicles this past week here in the Midwest. If you know, you know, with all the severe weather.
We've been getting pounded last week.
For sure. Brandon Jones sweeps the stages by winning stage 1 and stage 2. More on him in a second with his unfortunate issues. But Corey Day and Sammy Smith, they get together to start at stage 3. They are not teammates, but you know what? It's Hendrick and Junior Motorsports. It's close enough. Yeah, it's an alliance. Close enough. Uncomfortable Chevrolet team meeting.
Yes.
Close enough, I guess. Why? Like, what are we doing? It's know. Like, it reminds me of, like, Toyota. Like, Toyota Talladega from a couple of years ago.
Yeah, when they're all running that single line trying to catch back up to
Toyota at Kansas last fall or Toyota at Kansas
yesterday.
I mean, they still ended up winning. But more on that later. Sheldon Creed drove to the front after starting all the way in the rear due to pre-race inspection failures. Not sure where Sheldon Creed had all that speed, but he took the lead in stage 3. Then, as we mentioned, the heartbreaker, Brandon Jones. Why?
Yeah,
uncontrolled tire in the final pit stop. The worst part is it wasn't even close.
Yeah, we watched it.
It was a very uncontrolled tire. We watched it live. Right. It was like...
It was bad. I was like,
It was very bad. And the worst part is NASCAR took forever to call that. And I just had the false reality of like, oh, please don't call it. And then they called it. I'm like,
there's no shot they don't call it. You at least saw on the actual live cameras, it was way out of that pit box. It was like on pit road.
It was like a couple feet outside of that pit box.
It was on pit road, and I'm surprised that crew member did not get in trouble for that.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't as bad as that one time that the tire ended up in the infield grass at Atlanta that one time.
Or Haley Deegan's pit crew.
Yeah, but then Corey Day has his own tire go down late as he has to pit. Tough deal there. Corey Day already had damage, and yet his car was like one of the fastest on track, and he was driving through everything.
Before he had that tire, he was going to get up there. He was flying through the field.
Yeah. He was flying through the field, even with like pieces of bare bond tape on the right front.
I was asleep for part of the race. I took a nap.
Not sure why you were asleep. Apparently, you got bored because there weren't any more flips. I guess you were just
gone.
Waiting for Talladega the following week, weren't you?
I was watching the Cup race.
Okay.
It's more on that to come.
Enough of that, but. Taylor Gray ends up winning this race. He holds off Sheldon Creed for just his second career win after his win at Martinsville last fall. Creed ends up second, which wins him the $100,000 Dash for Cash bonus. Justin Allgaier ends up third. Jesse Love in fourth. Brent Cruz, his first start on a track over 1.25 miles, ends up fifth.
Yeah, shout out Brent Cruz. Honestly.
Shout out Brent Cruz. He's got that Eric Almirola 19 JGR car intermediate speed.
Yes, in the Young Life. Speaking of Young Life, the other day I saw Young Life. Actually, what Young Life is, I was like, "Oh my god, that's a NASCAR sponsor!"
Wow.
It's in Wilton, Iowa. If anyone wants to know.
Wow, you opened your eyes for once.
Hey.
You were practically falling asleep, which apparently a lot of people were during the Cup race, but more on why I disagree with that later in a second. But first, O'Reilly standings. I lead Stacy by 55 points, Haley by 124, Bernardo by 135, Evan by 150, Noah by 206. For those keeping track at home, Noah is last in IndyCar and O'Reilly standings, both by exactly 206 points.
Yes.
He's also last in Cup points by 204 points. Spoiler alert. I picked Brandon Jones in this race. Not really sure how he finished 8th. It's because there's so many cars that were a lap down when he had that uncontrolled tire. But
yeah.
He still drove the field and made up like 5 seconds to pass like another 4 positions. Leads the most laps in this race. So somehow I end up like stretching my points lead just barely,
Yeah.
despite the issues. And I mean, Brandon Jones would have finished top 5 had had the uncontrolled had the tire been controlled.
If the race was ran during the day, he definitely would have had a shot to win. But as soon as it turned nightfall, he started falling off hard.
I mean, as soon as it turned night, his car turned from like the dominant winning car to like a third place car.
Yeah.
His car was still good. It's just Taylor Gray's car was better.
Yeah.
And then the uncontrolled tire. Evan, you picked Sam Merritt, finished 9th.
He was very quiet all day.
Very quiet.
Just stayed in the top 10.
Besides avoiding a bunch of wrecks.
Yeah.
He avoided like 3 wrecks.
Besides that, I mean, he just kind of stayed quiet the other day. Didn't really hear much. So.
For once, he didn't have power issues.
Yes.
On the intermediate track.
Yes.
Haas factory team, good race. I mean, finished 2nd with Creed, 9th with Sam Merritt, good race. Haley with Jesse Love finished 4th, led a lap. Why did you pack all the air onto Austin Hill? Noah is not very happy about that, who ended up 34th with a DNF. Noah's not very happy about
Noah's
that.
sad.
Yeah. I guarantee you RCR had a very uncomfortable team meeting today, especially being that on the Cup side, you had Kyle Busch finish 35th.
Oh, my God.
So
RCR as a whole needs
help.
A lot.
They need help.
I don't know what they need. They just need something. I don't know what yet.
Yeah, they need something. Meanwhile, shout out Cleese McFarland running in RCR again, this time at Nashville Super Speedway on May 30th in the O'Reilly's car. We'll see what he does.
Yes.
I'm sad because that's my graduation weekend, so I can't go. But, yeah, we'll see what Cletus does. Hopefully he doesn't blow an engine or two. Stacy with Justin Allgaier finished 3rd. Surprisingly, didn't lead any laps. And, I mean, Allgaier had a fast car, but...
He just couldn't get up to the front.
Yeah.
He couldn't get up to the lead.
He didn't have anything for Brandon Jones and didn't have anything for Taylor Gray and didn't have anything for Sheldon Creed. So, I mean, third for Allgaier, just a solid day. And then Bernardo with Corey Day, 26 laps led in 12th, despite the wreck and despite the tires. Corey Day continues to impress. It's like no matter what. It's like,
Corey Day is growing on me.
I mean,
in my opinion, Corey Day is growing on me a lot more than I thought he would. That's for sure. I'm starting to like him as a driver.
I mean, sure, him getting tangled up with Sammy Smith, it wasn't great, but it wasn't as egregious as some of his other incidents.
And some of his previous arguments, so to say to speak.
I don't know. The talent is still there. And he's definitely cleaned up his act a lot more than, like, Coda, for example.
Yes, that was bad.
Yeah. Anyways, in the Cup race, this man apparently fell asleep. Not really sure why, because, I mean, Tyler Reddick led from the pole. He did not dominate this race. Nobody did. Let's be honest, really nobody did. And I'll say this. Look, this race was not super exciting. It's not like you had 17 million passes in this race. Yeah. But... it's not like one driver led 220 laps like Larson did last year to win. I mean, there were multiple cars in contention to win this race at different points. Sure, Denny Hamlin led a race-high 131 laps, but it looked like at points Larson had the best car. It looked like Bell or Chase Elliott could contend, but this was not the most boring race in the world. I would argue last year was more boring.
Yeah, last year was more.
Larson dominate from start to finish, and I was there in person. But I feel like we've been too accustomed to Kansas having, like, wild and crazy moments. And, I mean, to be fair, we had the Carson Kvapil flip yesterday from the O'Reilly's race. And we had the really crazy overtime in the Zane Smith sideways wall ride flip thingy. The last time the Cup cars were at Kansas in the fall. And, I mean, Evan, you brought up a good point the other day with the fact that there's been 3 flips at Kansas now in the past 6 years.
And a couple smaller, somewhat flips. William Byron 2018, Priest in 2020, Eric Almirola in 2017 when he broke his back.
Almost flips or just like big crashes, wild injuries. I mean,
Eric Jones 2017.
Yeah, 2017, man. Especially Almirola when he broke his back in that spring race. I remember who won that race. I was also there. First race in my lifetime.
Yes.
That was a crazy race in itself. But I feel like we're just too accustomed to craziness at Kansas. But, I mean, I will say, I do think that struggling to pass on the bottom at Kansas for much of the weekend isn't great. But the car is fine. The tires are fine. And, like, it's not like there was much rubber on the track to begin with.
Yeah, because it got rained out.
Yeah, because Friday's on-track activities were washed out by rain. But this race wasn't bad. It wasn't like crazy good, but it was a very natural race until that Cody Ware spin with 2 laps to go to set up overtime. I mean,
Hold on. Cody Ware, I would like to have a word with you.
I mean, if your tires are cording after 40 laps and you run 60 to 65 laps, of course the tire's going to blow. Just a tough deal being 2 to go, and, you know,
You're already laps down. Why?
you're already 6 laps down. It's like, why push it that hard?
Yeah, literally.
Why push it that hard to try and... I don't want to say manipulate the race, because he had no intention of manipulating the race intentionally, at least in my opinion. I mean, I get where Rick Ware's coming from, you know, just try and finish the race and get on to Talladega, you know.
Save a set of tires. I get that.
Save a set of tires, save money, you know, it's a business. The Cup Series is expensive, but...
At the same time, you already know you're recording after 40 laps.
Yeah. And that wreck could have been so much worse because he spun right in front of Hamlin and Reddick, so that wreck could have wiped them both out.
Yeah, that could have been a lot worse than what it was.
Yeah, just a tough deal for Hamlin fans. Tough deal for them. But in overtime, it looked like Kyle Larson was going to run away with it. After Christopher Bell and Denny Hamlin, they made contact. Bell ended up spinning on pit road. I think he broke a toe link or something coming to the white. No caution. Okay.
Yeah, NASCAR,
no caution.
Let's not start these inconsistent calls again.
You know, it's whatever. But somehow Reddick had the momentum, was able to drive underneath Larson on the last lap to score the victory. Tyler Reddick, 5 wins on the year. His second win in Kansas, his 13th career win. Larson comes up in second. Chase Briscoe third. Chase Briscoe, very, very, very quiet day. Ran fast. Didn't really do anything other than run fast. Yes. Finished third. Hamlin ends up fourth. Bubba Wallace in fifth. My NASCAR fantasy did very well, except for Bell spinning.
Yeah, except for when Bell decided, cut across track.
Except for Bell spinning. And the worst part is I had Bubba Wallace in my garage, so I sort of swapped them, I guess.
Yeah.
But Reddick now has 4 poles on the year, and all 4 of those races have resulted in victories.
Yeah, and just a side note, it's supposed to rain on qualifying day. So
it's supposed to rain like all weekend at Talladega, so the chances of qualifying being rained out are probably a solid 80% right now. And if qualifying gets rained out, we know who's winning the pole.
Yeah,
Mr. Tyler Reddick. In his debut primary sponsorship for Rockstar.
Yes. If the trend continues,
we're in trouble.
Yeah, see,
the trend continues. We're about to be talking, next week with Tyler Reddick winning 6 of the 10 races and going 3 for 3 on super speedways to start the year.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, at that point, it's like
we gotta get the tinfoil hats on.
At that point, is that like DEI in the 2000s?
Yeah, literally, we need to get some tinfoil hats on and have this discussion.
I wouldn't say that far, but
it is getting to a point.
I have patience. I mean, I have patience.
I mean, if you think about it, 6 wins in 10 races, that's crazy.
I mean, yeah.
Especially the next gen era when all the cars are supposed
in the next gen era when all the cars are supposed to be equal. But then again, I mean, look at NHRA Pro Stock with Craig Anderson and Dallas Glenn damn near winning everything. So, I mean, cream rises to the top, I guess. Is it a coincidence that it's right after a lawsuit victory? Sure.
Yeah, and the people on Facebook are starting to question it. I
mean, Reddick is passing inspections, so unless inspections being fudged, then we don't know about it.
Yeah, 2011's secretly paying off the officials.
I don't know.
Can you imagine that bombshell? Oh my god, that would be crazy.
I don't know. I don't think we're at that point yet, but I mean,
it's getting close.
Reddick now has 5 wins in the first 9 races. That's only happened 4 other times in NASCAR history, and the first time since Dale Earnheart Sr. in 1987. It's been almost 40 years. Since that happened. And in a next gen car, when the cars are supposed to be equal.
Yeah, there's some questionable things.
Sure. Toyota themselves, they have 7 of the first 9 wins.
Yeah. Toyota's been on a roll this year.
Toyota really has, which hasn't been seen since Chevy did it in 2007. There's only been 6 DNFs in the last 5 races, which is the fewest in a 5-race span in Cup Series history. And also in 2026 so far, there's only been 54 cautions, which is the fewest at this point since 48 cautions in 2012.
Damn.
2012 feels like a million years ago.
Well, I was only 5 years old at that time.
That's a good point.
I really don't know much about 2012.
I was only 4 years old, so I didn't know what NASCAR was. I mean, I barely knew anything.
I knew what a Hot Wheel was.
Close enough, I guess. But man, Tyler Reddick, he just keeps finding ways to win. He finds new ways to win. I mean, Daytona was quite a bit of luck, but the 500's always
Luck.
The 500's always like, okay, you have enough skill to put yourself in the right position, and then it's just luck on the premises of survival.
Yeah.
On those last few laps. Atlanta, he came back from that right front fender missing to win that race. That's how good his car was. Coda was just domination from start to finish. Darlington, he dominated much of that race from the pole, had the cool suit failure, had the alternator issue, still overcame those to win that race.
Yeah.
And then Kansas, he had the pole, but he only led 10 laps in this race. And,
Hamlin would, and then he had his
Hamlin definitely would have won the race had Cody Ware not spun.
Yeah.
But, Reddick was able to take advantage of the opportunity.
Yeah.
I mean, overtime rules are overtime rules, so that's just how it is. I mean, it can't be bad as the overtime line.
Oh my god,
Oh, man.
that was a time.
That was pretty bad.
That was a time.
Updated Cup standings. I lead Stacy by 33 points. That's right. I took the points lead. You'll see why in a second. Haley leads by... Nope. Haley does not lead. Excuse me. It's late. Haley's 90 points behind me for the lead. Bernardo's 102 back. Evan, you're 168 back. So you're making progress.
Yes. After my early season woes, I'm taking the small wins.
After two sub 30th place finishes in the first 2 weeks.
We don't talk about that.
You're making progress. And Noah 204 points back. So Noah's just in a big hole in just about everything except for the Truck Series.
Yes.
That's about it. But our Cup picks, I picked Larson, who ends up second. Should have won this race. I don't know how. I mean, he had clean track. He had the clean air. He probably had like 6 car lengths on Reddick coming to the white. And even though he had the top groove, he just, I don't know. Reddick somehow had that momentum on the bottom. Kind of reminds me how somehow Reddick had all that momentum coming to the finish of the Daytona 500.
Yeah.
But Evan, the reason why you were able to chop some of that points without, you picked Denny Hamlin, all reliable, finished 4th, led the most laps, 131 laps on the day.
I will say a pretty good day. He should have won the race because goddamn Cody Ware, but I digress.
Hey, it was better than the Nashville 24.
Yes.
That was pretty bad. Haley with Chase Briscoe, quiet day in 3rd. Stacy, the reason why she lost the points lead, as we were hinting at earlier, is because she picked Ryan Blaney. Ryan Blaney, all throughout this year, he's had good cars. It's just his pit crew has been god-awful.
Yes.
Well, his pit crew was god-awful today, and it also didn't help that Blaney had contact with A.J. Allmendinger early and spun him around on pit road. But the only difference was Ryan Blaney was not able to come back and get up towards the front. So Blaney ends up 24th, a lap down.
Yeah, honestly, Ford in general, though.
Ford. Why?
Ford has been awful this year.
Ford has been awful. I mean,
besides Ryan Blaney,
Chevy should have more than 1 win. Chevy should have probably
2 or 3
wins.
Yeah, but Ford
has
been off the ball all year this year.
Ford has 1 win, and that's Blaney at Phoenix, and Blaney came back from 2 loose wheels.
Yeah.
He should not have won that race. That should have been Bell that won that race, which would have meant another win for Toyota.
Yes.
Imagine that, another win for Toyota. Bernardo with Austin Dillon in 16th. Somehow Austin Dillon finished 16th in this race.
Yeah.
Not really sure how. Not sure how RCR, at least one of their drivers, had a good day.
Other one was just awful.
Where did Kyle Busch go? It's like he didn't show up. Then again, you want to know who else didn't show up? Trackhouse.
Yeah, Trackhouse is...
What happened?
I don't know.
What has happened to Trackhouse? I mean, like, SPG, Zillage, and Ross Chastain, they all finished, like, outside the top 25. Like, none of them showed up. None.
Yeah, I don't know what happened with
I mean,
Trackhouse.
last fall, it was SVG's first top 10 on an oval, and the year before that in the fall race in 24, Chastain won the race.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, I don't know if they just
Why are
brought
we
the
so
wrong setup. Maybe they're thinking of Talladega next week. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe they put the Talladega setup on the Kansas cars.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah, literally.
Something. Ugh, they were slow.
Yeah.
All weekend, and it's a shame, especially for Chastain and the Busch Apple car.
That scheme was amazing.
That scheme was the best thing Trackhouse did all weekend.
Yes. True. Very true.
Quite literally. And no, Chase Elliott in 8th. You would think that 4 tires on the overtime restart would work once again, just like it did last fall. It did not.
It did not.
It did
not
this
nothing.
time, but
Nothing.
I don't know. The tire wear wasn't as much as it was.
Last year, yeah.
So, tough deal there. But wild weekend in Kansas and in Long Beach. And it's only going to get crazier.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Here we go. Yeah, Talladega.
Yeah, NASCAR runs at Talladega this weekend, plus NHRA with their only four-wide race of the season with the 4-wide Nationals from ZMAX Dragway in Charlotte. We'll be here on Friday to talk all about it, but that's all we got for today's episode of the Throttle podcast. Make sure you tune in, download, listen, watch on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. Check out the Chill Photography and Throttle podcast Instagrams and TikToks. This guy wants me to put more of his Mustang pictures on my photography socials, so we'll see if I do that.
Be on the lookout for those pictures.
Be on the lookout for those. But that's all we got for today's episode of the Throttle podcast. And we'll see y'all on Friday to talk crazy things.
Yes.
Crazy Talladega things.
Have a good night,
crazy
y'all.
rain.
Rain in the forecast.
Yes, rain in the forecast.
We might be seeing y'all Tuesday.
Meteorologist Evan Sager.
We might be seeing y'all Tuesday or next Friday.
The recap episode might be Tuesday.
Yeah,
Who knows?
it might be a weird week next week.
Yeah, who knows? We'll see y'all sometime.
Yeah, have a good night, y'all.